Okay, good morning. Good morning. Just gonna get everything set up, do a little chanting, and see who's here on the stream. It's glorious up here today, Shiva Island. Glorious. Okay. Oh, goodness sakes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's so peaceful up here right now. And everything is alive. And the air is just crystal clear. Maybe that's what it's supposed to be like when we're in a pure environment. Our minds become pure. I think that's got to be a part of it. Got to be a part of the transformation. Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Nanaratna Samayuktam Muttahara Vibhusitam Swanasam Asanam Charu Vichatam Pratigratam. Nagatanasamayuktam Muktahara Vibhushitam Swanasam Asanam Charu Richatam Pratigrayatam. Om Ganapataye Namaha. Om Okay, friends on the stream. Oh, Leslie, good morning. So nice that you're here. Yay. And Sam, yeah, I think we're good to go this week. And Eric, thanks for chiming in. Tammy, Shigeko is here. Yes, good morning, everyone. And we weren't really sure. I know we'll probably have some little rain later, but the morning here is just absolutely glorious, incredible. And so again, thanks for joining. And I wanted to talk about as I titled, our class today, Knower and the Known. And so kind of how that goes is what I would say is everything is objectified in the mind. Absolutely everything is or becomes an object in the mind. And recently the topic came up, and the concept of objectification is such an interesting one, I think. And in this, if you will, in this three-dimensional, reality of name and form, and, if you will, meaning and feeling, we create objects of perception with the mind, or objects are perceived in the mind as objects. And kind of the good morning, Steph. Kind of the thinking around this is then that the idea that we're objectifying virtually everything, and I would say even our emotions, are also objects. And in that field, if you will, then there's a certain density, if you will, a certain density of perception that that happens. Perception becomes dense, and that that very kind of simple idea um, inhibits the ability of then a more refined capacity. Good morning, Melissa. Right on. Oh, great. Yeah, nice. Maggie's in Florida and she's practicing with her mom here today. That's wonderful. And so in that field, if you will, of density of perception, then we're just attaching to objects and to feelings and to thoughts. Also, thoughts are also, become objects. And what I would offer to this, and while that is how we, function in this, three-dimensional reality, ultimately yoga wants us to shift that, right? If we're going to advance consciously, then the capacity of our perception needs to become refined. And you hear me talk about this all the time. you know, but we're in such a dense strata of how we function on the day to day. Good morning, Crystal. Nice to see you here this morning. Um, that we need a lot of support to then shift that into a more refined way. And what I would offer is two ideas. Like even say a yoga pose becomes an object. A yoga pose is objectified. We're like, oh, I want to do this pose right, wrong, or this way or that way. And so all of a sudden, like down dog or Virabhadrasana 1 or whatever it may be is an object. And I find that fascinating because, yoga, we're supposed to like work, past the objective nature of experience. And so then the offering would be, yeah, you guys can set up anywhere. Feels good. Nice to see you. Had some friends joining us here this morning on the Shivani deck. And so then, like, yoga pose has a movement of the 5 pranavayus. We know that, the 5 energies, the 5 fabrics of energies. And that could be, say, a transition of perception from a gross layer of experience to a more subtle layer of experience. And that's really what we're aiming for. That's one of the benefits of doing yoga asana, is that it begins to stimulate the 5 pranavayus, and there is virtually a shift in the capacity of our perception into that field. And then the second thing is then we're aware of that we're like actually taking a step back from objectified experience, and then even the dharmi, the substratum of that objectified experience, the energy layer, and then we're in the layer of awareness where we're just watching. And that's really the ultimate aim of our yoga practice, is to frame our experience in that way. And again, what happens is we're, if you will, we're too busy chasing objects, And what I would say is, even in our modern culture, and social media is a classic example, is that everything is being objectified at a hyper rate, even, you know. And again, that's say how we live our lives, but for the yoga, um, the offering is to, shift that. So in our yoga practice today, I'm going to kind of guide us through those different mechanisms. And again, this is fairly common. Just spin this, and different ways, and it's really useful, I would say. So that's what I have for Chai and Chat here this morning, folks. And we got some yogis and some campers for today, and we have a glorious morning. It's just amazing up here, and the air is crystal clear. So come on up to Shivalaya, friends. I'm going to slip back to my abode here, and hopefully this is good. For any reason it's not, let me know, but I think we got it wired here today nicely. And so you found us. Very good.
Yeah, sorry we're late. I wasn't sure.
That's okay. Oh, good. You're not late. You're perfectly on time.
It smells good.
Yeah, it's just so nice. And so let's just take a moment here and find your comfortable seated position, and I'm just gonna check. Yep. Again, if any issues with the sound, let me know. And let the eyes gently close down when you're ready. And just breathe into the belly. Very common beginning for us. And then just a some of the material world of the nervous system that's always kind of active in its kind of field of experience, the field of manas, the sense recording faculty of, if you will, of the mind, of the chitta. So whatever it may be that led you to your practice here this morning, your mat, let kind of the steps that you've taken to arrive in this moment to just subside. So just allow for the to pass, to dwindle. Yeah, let all that just dwindle away. So the objects of the past, in other words, it could have been hours, weeks, it could have been even a full lifetime. And just let all those objects subside. Sometimes there's a tendency to anticipate, and that would be the future. And let that just absolutely be released and just feel in the moment here. And then if nothing else, allow for your experience to abide in breathing, just in breathing. And then maybe it's the objects of the present moment that should be most relevant to us, and awareness, any perceived sense of subtlety. And we'll chant a couple of ohms and things, and we'll get going in our practice here. And so just gently release the breath, and then take a nice big inhale. And again, another nice big inhale. Ashtavinchan Shivani Shadman Saha Yogam Bhajantu Me Yogam Prapadye Sheman Shaksheman Prapadye Yogam Shadamo Ahora Prabhyam Pastu. And another inhale for Om together. hands. Just gently open the eyes here. I think we'll stay seated for just a bit. So appreciate your endurance with that. And from this seated position, you may want to come off of any supports that you might be on. We'll interlace the fingers here, extend the palms out. Pretty familiar kind of start to things. Inhale, float the hands and arms over the head and just breathe very deeply. Just enjoy the deep breath here. And then take another nice big inhale. And exhale slowly. Lower the hands and arms, round the low back. So kind of pivot back on the back body, sacrum. And then inhale, float hands and arms back up. And then just find your own pacing, your own rhythm here. And first stay really kind of perceptive of the breath. So as the body begins to like emerge in our asana practice, the sensations that the body has kind of drives awareness to sensation. And you can recognize that. You'll see that. It's pretty obvious. And that in and of itself, say, is fine, although then it can be very predominant part of our experience in our asana practice is to be watching all the bodily sensations. And one might offer that the vitality really is most expressed when we're abiding in either the vayus, the energies, or in the awareness. So let's meet at the top here. And then gently release the hands and arms shoulder height. Let the right palm turn up, left palm turn down. And then let's just stir the arms. So allowing for the joint capsules to become a little freer. It's always just feels nice that way. And then a little kind of watery flow with the arms. Just let everything kind of move here a bit. And then neutral position with the arms, eagle arms, inhale breath. And then the right under the left, so forearms, palms come together, elbows out and up, shoulder blades pull down the back, and then give the head a little bit of a stir here, just stretching the neck and feel into that goodness. Yeah. Ooh. And then neutral position here with the head. We'll switch in, I'll float hands and arms wide. And exhale the left under the right. So again, forearms, palms, squeeze, and then a little stir of the head. And there may be a little different side to side. I find that in my body, a little different side to side. That way. Oh. And then neutral position with the head, inhale, float hands and arms wide. Exhale, then behind you, interlace the fingers here. Breathe very deeply. The gaze goes up. Maybe lift the hands up a little bit. You may find that's kind of expands the sensation in a kind of equanimity, kind of a way of observing. And then gently soften the grip of the hands here and then extend the right arm out, plant it maybe on the fingertips or the palm. Left arm floats up, in arm up, exhale it over the head. And just reach. Maybe ground that left knee a little bit. Feeling into that. If you want to take it deeper, you can bend into that right elbow. Feeling into that some. And then inhale, float up to neutral here. Exhale, release hand and arm down. We'll switch. So extend left arm, right palm. Again, turns up, arm up, over. Yay. Just breathe here. Feeling into that. Yay. And then inhale, float hand and arm to the sky. And then we'll do a little twist here. So inhale, float arms over the head, twist to the right, and then release that left hand outside of the near thigh. Reassert length in the spine. Look deeply over that right shoulder and breathe into the belly. So just breathe into the belly here. Oh, yay. And then a big inhale. And then the exhale, soften from the twist here. Palms turn up, inhale, float hands and arms real high. Then we'll twist to the left. Left arm behind you. Lengthen the spine. Breathe into the belly again. Just feel your way through that. Nice big inhale, and exhale, soften to neutral here. And now we'll gratefully come off of the seated position here, make your way to a tabletop position. So come to all fours here, and then just to kind of warm up the body further, the hips and things, just circle the hips. And again, pretty kind of familiar for us, just a little circling of the hips. Maybe include the rhythm of your breathing as the heart floats forward. We inhale and back, exhaling. And then any other kind of organic movement that may, appear. And so again, pivot to first breath awareness. Allow that to sustain the container of, a ta. So the present moment. Switch the direction. So maybe just arc through the muscle groups at a different angle. So just tacking a different way here, feeling that. And then neutral position here again, and then puppy pose. Let the heart sink, hips stay lifted, forehead earth. And just breathe here, feeling into that. Whew. And then gently, float up to neutral position. So lazy up dog. We've been doing this a lot in our warm-ups. The hips release down. Gaze goes to the horizon here. Just take a breath or two. Yeah, and when you're ready, nice big inhale and exhale, lift the hips back. And then into that puppy pose, half dog. And then just, float back up. So find the rhythm again, your own breathing and movement. Just kind of subtle with the body here. Mm-hmm. And again, just notice if your perception gets tied into kind of the sensations of the body that can appear, and then notice if you're tying any form of evaluation, might be one way to put it, to that experience, and just notice that if that appears, and then just shift it. One might offer shift it into something that just feels neutral, content. And then we'll meet in tabletop here. Extend the right leg behind you, the toes tucked under on the mat. First, a little stretch of the calf and Achilles. Again, pretty familiar territory for us here. And then when you're ready, inhale, float that right leg hip height here, just making a little more room for myself. Breathe, and then a nice big inhale, and exhale, round the knee into the chest, give it a squeeze. And then inhale the leg behind you. Exhale, round squeeze again. And then one more of these. Inhale the leg back. Exhale, squeeze. And then inhale the leg back. And then sweep this leg over to the right, ground it. And then the hips drift back till we find a little stretch in the hamstring, inner groin areas where it shows up in my body. Then come onto the forearms. And that just allows for the pelvis to tilt in a forward angle to refine that stretch in the inner groin. And this always feels fairly magical. Breathe here. And then ground the hands firm, inhale, float up to neutral. Not quite done. The left hand plants under the face, and then inhale the right hand to the sky, and just breathe here. Stay with the breath. A little spin of the wrist can be nice that way. Inhale. And exhale, hand and arm down, neutral, and then we'll switch that out. So left leg extends behind you, toes tucked under on the mat. Again, little stretch of the calf and Achilles first, just to wake that all up. Yep. And then inhale, float when you're ready. Now the left leg, hip height, inhale, breath, and exhale, squeeze knee to chest. So squeeze. Inhale, leg behind you. Exhale, squeeze. One more of these. Inhale, leg behind you. And exhale, squeeze. And then inhale, leg behind you. And then sweep it over to the left and just ground the foot. The hips drift back, and then coming back onto the forearms. Yeah, just feeling your way through that. Breathe in. And then inhale, float up to neutral here. Ground the right hand, and then inhale, float left arm to the sky. A little spin of the wrist if you like. Just breathe deep. And a nice big inhale and exhale. The hand and arm down, back to neutral here, tabletop. That is down dog will meet. So Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And what's interesting is we all kind of know what that looks like. And so the asana, like, oh yeah, I know down dog. In our mind, all of a sudden, we hear the name of it. An image might appear, but an understanding, that's the jnana, the knowledge of the pose appears, and then we do the pose. And that's all objectified. It's all a process of that being objectified. And it's just fascinating to understand that. All right, good morning, Lori. Ooh. So the more say that we can stay just connected to the function of breathing, maybe some of that kind of objectification begins to subside, and we're just starting now to stimulate the five pranavayus, and so our perception will shift in a very subtle way to that. Yeah, lift the heels here, come up onto the tippy toes, sink the heart, keep the heels lifted though, and lifting. A little more sensation for the hamstrings, likely. And then release the heels back towards the earth. And then put a little bend in the right knee, ground, right hand stretch, left calf and Achilles. We do that. And then straighten that right leg. We'll switch to bend left knee, ground, left hand, right calf and Achilles. And a little pedaling between the two, little wiggling of the hips, say. And just breathe here. And then we'll meet in a forward fold. So just gently walk the feet to the hands. So Uttanasana here, forward folding. Again, a little space in between the feet, just allowing for the head of the femur bones to ride really nicely in the pelvis, the acetabulum. Lengthening the crown of the head towards the earth. A little stir of the head. Yes and no, possibly. And maybe capturing opposite elbows here. A little more traction for the spine that way. Again, kind of spiraling the upper thighs back, and keep the belly button kind of toning or tracking towards the spine. So a little firmness that way in the core. Yep. And then inhale, half lift here. So hands mid-chins. Pause that way for a moment. Inhale, breath. And then exhale, lengthen out as you fold down. Chin tucks, hands release at the bottom. And then a couple more times. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, folding, lengthening the crown to the earth. And one more time. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, bend knees, and then step back into high plank, high push-up here. So high plank, high push-up. Just pause here. Let the core kind of activate. The hips are going to lift just a little bit, as we know, so that, right, the TVA, the transverse abdominis, kind of comes online that way. So there's a tautness around the rib cage, the torso that way. Transverse abdominis. Yeah, breathe here. Stay with your breath. And this is this opportunity to then shift kind of into just awareness, observing. Inhale, breathing, and exhale to the knees, then all the way to the belly here. Come to the belly. Yep. So tops of feet, pelvis, hands all ground. And then inhale, float torso, come on up. Shoulders move away from the earth. Pause here for a moment. Inhale, breath. And exhale, float the torso down. And then again, inhale, float up. Exhaling 2 more times. And then tuck the back toes under, exhale, lift the hips. And we're in down dog here. Yeah, just take a moment, down dog. Ooh, yay. And then Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1 on the right side. So the right foot steps to the right hand, left heel pivots down here. Come to standing. Take a moment here just to organize the body. Firm up the back of the quad, little squeeze of the inner thigh. So there's that object, objectifying warrior 1, creating the form. And just breathe here. Stimulating right now, really significantly, pranavayu here. Energy that moves up in the body. Yep. Ooh, and then take a nice big inhale and exhale. The hands behind you. Interlace the fingers. Pause here for a moment. Just breathe deeply. Let the rib cage open with the form and also deep breaths here. And then inhale. And exhale, bow the torso on the inside of this now. Right leg, hands and arms over the head, and just stay with the breath here. Breathe in deep. Yeah. And then inhale, float, hands and arms over the head. So reach real tall. And exhale, just float gently all the way out of it. Just being aware, observing hands plant, step back, high plank, high push up here. Yep, inhale, breath. Exhale to knees all the way to the belly. Here, again, Bhujangasana, cobra pose. So inhale, float the torso a little higher this time. Maybe give that a try. Yeah, keep that back pretty active though. So we can kind of get lazy and just push on the arms, but keep the back activating here. So squeeze the shoulder blades together, contract the spinal muscles here. Inhale, breath. Exhale, float down. And then 2 more of these. So inhale, float up, really contract the muscles of the back. And exhale, float down. Get used to that, strengthening the back. Then inhale, float on up. And then tuck the back toes under. And exhale, lift the hips back into down dog. Nicely done, friends. Yeah. And then the left foot steps to the left hand here. So warrior 1 again. Right heel pivots down. Take a moment here. Find the object of warrior 1. Hands and arms reach to the sky. Let the gaze kind of be at the horizon and maybe kind of not necessarily focus on, say, one object, but the entire field, visual field of your perception. And maybe identify more with the space in between the objects than the objects themselves. Inhale, reach real tall. And exhale, the hands behind you. Pause here. Again, breathe deeply. Inhale, breath. And exhale, bow torso on the inside. Now this left leg, hands and arms float up and over the head. Just be mindful here. Breathe in deep. Stay with that breath. Ooh. And then exhale completely. And then inhale, float all the way up and out of it. So hands and arms reach to the sky. And exhale, gently float all the way out. Hands plant, step back, high plank, high push up here. Pausing for a moment. Yep. Inhale, breath. Exhale to the knees again, all the way to the belly. And then Bhujangasana, cobra. And then again, just squeeze the muscles of the back as much as you can. Elbows drop into the side bodies. And just breathe here. Big inhale, tuck the back toes under. Exhale, lift the hips. Down dog. There we go. Yeah, stay with the breath. Then inhale, breathing. We'll meet in child's pose. Exhale to the knees, hips to the heels. Let the hands float back to the ankles, forehead, of course, earth. And just breathe. Beginning to sense, if you will, the stimulative effects of the pranavayus. And then gently inhale, float up to neutral here. And we meet back in down dog. So hands ground, of course, here. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Yeah, and then float the right leg. So right leg float to pause with that. Yeah, and then take the leg higher, let the hip naturally spin open. Work the foot straight to the sky initially, and then spread the toes of the right foot. So you're trying to pierce, say, the big toe mound into the, into the sky, into the clouds, and then bend that right knee, track the foot over towards the left, and just breathe. Maybe lift the knee a little higher, and then inhale, straighten that right leg, release it down, exhaling gently, and then we'll switch this out. So when ready, float left leg hip right there, pause, really extend through the big toe mound, get that muscular action kind of dialed in. Take the leg higher, hip naturally spins open, work the foot straight to the sky, and then again spread the toes of the left foot, really reach, and then bend the knee, track it over, to the right. Really nice, and then they'll straighten the leg. Exhale, release it all the way back down, down dog again. And then warrior one again also. So right foot steps, right hand left, heel pivots down, come to standing, take a moment. Virabhadrasana one, warrior one. So let the pose be, say, a little deeper this time. So sink a little deeper into the front leg knee, feel into that, maybe pulse your front leg some. Really nice. Then a big inhale and exhale, hands to prayer. So peace warrior stance. Take a moment for that. So we're headed towards a modified Virabhadrasana 3, modified warrior 3. So release the back foot, point the heel to the sky, step the foot in. That squares the hip. And then work the weight into this right leg. Straighten that front leg, lift the back leg. Yeah, body down, leg up, feeling into that. Breathe, keep lifting the leg, lifting the heart here. Toes stay spread of that lifted foot. Yep. And then a standing split, so hinge at the hips here, folding hands to earth, forehead again, tracking towards the shin a bit. Breathe here, just observing. So stay focused on the breath. Stay focused on kind of observation. And then careful bend of the standing leg knee, release the back foot down into warrior one. We'll meet here, back into warrior one. Yep. And then a nice big inhale. Then we'll do this transition. Exhale, hands to the waist. And it'll straighten that front leg and then pivot 180 degrees here. Step that right foot out so the hips stay kind of squaring off. Stay with the breath here. Hands and arms over the head once again. So reach first. Create a lot of space. And now that right hip flexor. Big breath in. And the next exhale, hands to the heart. So peace warrior stance. Pause there for a moment. And then lift the back heel, point the heel to the sky, step the foot in again. Modified warrior 3, inhale, straighten the front leg, lift the back leg, body down, leg up. Stay with the breath. Oh, yeah. And then when you're ready, standing split here, so hinge at the hips a little deeper, hands released to the earth, forehead to the shin or so. Breathe in. Yeah. And then a careful bend in the stand leg knee, release the back foot down. We'll meet back into warrior one stance here. Oh, yeah. Inhale, breath. Exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, pivot 180 degrees. And then gently just step the back foot to the top of the mat. We'll meet here at the top of the mat. Take a moment here. With the eyes closed, the palms turn open, little slight bend in the knees. And just get a sense of kind of energetic feeling, maybe in the hands, forearms, maybe internal to the body. There's some pulsing. So allowing for this, say, more fourth dimensional perception to begin to take hold. Yep. And then gently inhale, float the hands and arms over the head, reach a little tall, and then capture the left wrist with the right hand. And then with an inhale, float over to the right, stand really firm on the left leg. Here, so a lot of energy to lengthen into that left side body here. Stay with the breath, and then lightly pull the belly button to the spine. So just hold that in. Mm-hmm. Yay. And then inhale, float up to neutral. Exhale, switch the grip of the hands here, and then inhale, sweep over to the left. Stand firm now on that right leg. Obviously, breathe deeply. Stay with the breath. Ooh. And then inhale, float up to neutral. Exhale, the hands behind you, interlace the fingers here. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, bend knees, hinge the hips, folding forward, hands and arms and such, float over the head. And then you can re-straighten the legs as appropriate, or a little more energy that way. Ooh, inhale, breath. And exhale, gently release the grip of the hands, plant, step back, high plank, high push-up, and pausing. Breathe deep. And then bend the elbows just like 2 or 3 inches. So like half of a chaturanga dandasana. Feel that for a moment. Keep the core active. The hips stay lifted, right? So we're not collapsing the hips just yet. And then inhale, float forward with the torso. Let the hips release down, upward facing dog. Roll over the tops of the feet. Kind of lean back into it a little bit. And then draw the belly button to the spine. Spread the toes. Big inhale. And exhale, lift the hips back. Down dog. Nice, friends. Take a moment here, inhale, breath, exhale, release knees, child's pose, balasana here. Take a moment and relax, forehead, earth, hips, heels. Yeah, and just breathe. And very gently, we'll meet back in down dog. So inhale, tabletop, toes tuck under. Here, downward facing dog. That's really nice. Just take a moment there. And then exhale the breath completely. And then take a nice big inhale and hold the breath in and wait on it. So inhale and hold the breath. And then gently exhale. And warrior 2, right foot step. So right foot, right hand, left heel pivots down. Take a moment here. So again, come to standing. Bend deep, into the front leg knee. And then when you're ready, float the hands and arms shoulder height here. Stay with the breath and then make a little adjustment to my system here. It's nice and sunny up here. And gaze at the horizon. Maybe again in the visual field, be more interested in the space than the objects. And then let the palms turn up here. And then inhale, straighten the front leg, reach the arms over the head. And exhale, bend front leg, knee, hands and arms float shoulder height. A couple more times, palms turn up, inhale, straighten, reach. Exhale, bend. One more of these. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. We'll come into Parsvakonasana, extended triangle. So right forearm, right thigh, left arm floats over the head. and just really reach. So ground the back foot by engaging the quad of that back leg, that left leg, and then really reach through the fingertips and then open the heart space here. And then straighten that right arm towards the earth, sink a little deeper, go into that, and then take the left hand to the sacrum. The palm is down here. Yeah, let the heart just keep spinning open. Take some time for that. Oh, yay. And then reverse warrior. So straighten the front leg, reach this right arm over the head, just slide the left hand down the left leg and just breathe here. Stay with the breath. Yeah, and a nice big inhale. And exhale, hands and arms, shoulder height, pause here. Trikonasana, come in triangle, thumbs turn to the sky. Inhale, breath, squeeze inner thighs, and then exhale, just reach forward with that right hand. When the hip stops moving, just tip, reach right hand earth, left stars, gaze goes up, possibly. Allow that to keep spinning the ribs open. So track those left ribs open, and really kind of ground that left shoulder blade into the back body. We're not done here. Take a big inhale and exhale that left arm over the head towards the front of the space that you're in and just reach. So that's the Utthita. That's the extended part of triangle. And then bring down that left to the sacrum. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. So look down, bend the front leg, knee, step the back foot in, plant the front hand in front of the front foot, and straight in front leg. Lift the back leg, and then float that left arm again. Yeah, stay with the breath. And then some of you may want to bend that left knee, capturing foot or ankle, so a little stretch of the quad. You can do that. Stay with the breath. And then a careful bend in the stand leg knee, release the back foot down, then inhale, float back up into warrior two. Yeah. Breathe deeply. So nourish the body with the breath. And then inhale, you're breathing. Exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale, straighten the front leg, and then pivot this right foot in, left foot turns open, and then warrior two again. So bend into the front leg knee when you're ready. Hands and arms float, shoulder height. Maybe a little pulse in that front leg knee. Keep it tracking in line with the foot, of course. The palms turn up. Exhale, breath. Then inhale, straighten the front leg, reach hands and arms to the sky. And exhale, bend front leg, knee, arms, shoulder height again. 2 more times. Just keep moving and breathing. Very nice. And so warrior two, transition to extended side angle. So Parsvakonasana, left forearm, left thigh, right arm floats over the head. And then heart turns open. So allow that twist to kind of develop a little further. Keep grounding the back leg firm. So the objectification of the form, reaching left hand towards the earth, sink a little deeper into that left hip, and then take the right hand to the sacrum. Heart spins open here. Stay with the breath. Oh, yeah. And then exhale, you're breathing completely. Reverse warrior. Straighten the front leg. Float this left arm over the head. The right arm just slides down the leg here. Reverse warrior. And then a nice big inhale. Exhale, hands and arms, shoulder height here. Pause, thumbs turn to the sky. Inhale, you're breathing. And then exhale, just reach forward, forward, forward. When the hip stops moving, just tip, reach left hand, earth, right, stars. Shoulders pull away from the ears so their spine is long from root to crown. Then we'll extend this Utthita, big inhale. And exhale, float that right arm over the head. Just reach all the way through the side body of that right side of the system. And then sweep that arm behind you. So back to the sacrum here. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Look down, bend the front leg, knee, step the back foot in. Plant the front hand in front of the front foot. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Lift the back leg. Float the right arm to the sky when that feels appropriate. And then maybe bend that right knee, capture foot or ankle. Little stretch of the quad here, feeling into that. Stay with the breath. And then a little bend of that stand leg knee. Warrior two again, so release the back foot down. Why not breathe deeply here? Oh yeah, inhale breath. Exhale, hands to the waist. Straighten the front leg, pivot now this left foot in, so wide-legged angle, forward fold, inhale, breathing, and exhale, hinge the hips, folding forward, hands eventually can release. Crown of the head is kind of lengthening towards the earth here. Weight builds in the big toe mounds, and there's pressure on the inner thighs to kind of draw the pubic bone back. So we continue to deepen into that interrotation of the upper thighs, broadening the pelvic floor. And then inhale, flat back here, halfway up, and then ground the left hand under the face. Then inhale, sweep the right hand to the sky. So twist here, stay with the breath. Breathe in. Yeah. Inhale, breathing. Exhale, the hand down, and we'll switch. So we're ready, ground that right hand, inhale, float left. Breathe deeply here. Yeah, inhale, breath. And exhale, float hand and arm down. And then walk the hands out in front of you a little further. Put maybe 5% of your body weight or so on the hands, and then just sink the heart here. Yeah, so little sensation in the upper thoracic. Stay with the breath. Stay aware. And then bend both knees and just sink into the hips. Just feel into that, whatever capacity the body appears. And then gently walk the hands back towards the body here, halfway. Inhale, flat back, exhale, hands to the waist, little bend in the knees, and then inhale, flat back all the way to standing. So we reach all the way back up. And then just pivot the right foot, step the back foot all the way to the top of the mat. Give it a little bit of a shimmy, a little bit of a shake. Work some of that through the joints. Yep. And then take a moment here again. Let the knees bend a little bit, palms turn open, eyes close. And just begin to witness how there's this capacity within you to perceive what may be subtle energy, pranic energy. And then notice that one can also pivot to what awareness is, if you will. And then just gently open the eyes here. We'll come into a little figure four. So work the weight into the right foot, float the left leg up, and then that foot above that right knee. Hands to prayer. Continue to spread the toes of the left foot, so kind of reaching through the big toe mound, and then a little bend of the standing leg knee, and then at some point draw the pubic bone back. Let that kind of area of the hip be revealed. Sink a little lower. That's in the capacity of the body. Wherever you go is suitable for the body here. So no have-tos. And then, although if the hands want to stabilize on the block or the ground, that's a good one. Just breathe. And then gently we'll release the hands. Not quite done though. So the hands kind of draw down as that leg floats up. Find your balance here. Push the floor away. Little wobbles, or find reach to the sky here. Then take the right hand on the outside of that left knee, grab it, and then just sweep this left arm behind you. Little twist. Feeling into that. Breathe here. Yeah, and then float both arms back over the head, and then gently, slowly release hands, prayer, foot to the earth. Yeah, back to the earth. Take a moment and then work the weight into this left leg. Little bend in the stand leg knee. Float the right foot above the left knee. So we're here. Hands to prayer. Feeling into that. Spread the toes, right foot. So that thing happens. Bend stand leg knee. Draw the pubic bone back. So allow that sensation in the hip to really appear. Sinking in again to whatever's suitable for the capacity here. Sinking hands maybe to earth or block or staying where you are suitable. Stay with the breath. Oh, and belly button to the spine. Begin to rise here. And then as a little kind of counter energy, hands float down, knee floats up. Go into that and then sweep the arms over the head. Yeah, and then float this left hand on the outside of that right knee, right arm behind you. So a little twisting sensation that way. Certainly a balance process. Stay with the breath. And then float the arms back over the head. And then gently float the leg down, hands to prayer here at the heart. Take a moment. Once again, let the eyes close. Soften your stance. Palms turn open at the sides here. Take a moment. Yeah, we'll just gently meet in a forward fold. So little bend the knees, just kind of gently come down into a forward fold. And just slide the hands down the legs, lengthen the crown towards the earth here. Breathe deep. Then inhale, half lift. Take a moment for spinal length here. Take another nice big inhale, exhale, hinge, bend knees, plant hands, step back into down dog here. Oh. And then inhale the right leg behind you. Pause there for a moment, and then inhale breath, and then exhale right knee, right elbow, a little squeeze and a kiss in. And then inhale leg behind you. Exhale knee to chest, squeeze. And then inhale right knee, left elbow, squeeze. Pause there. Then extend that right foot out, ground it, balance on the right hand. We do this a lot, so float on up here, ground the left heel, take that left hand to the sky initially, and then draw the arm over the head towards the front, and then just arch the back, kind of lean back into it, and then bend the left elbow, draw the hand to the back of the head, and just lift the chin here. Stay with the breath. Yeah, inhale, you're breathing. And exhale, release the hand down, down, down. Dog is where we meet. Yeah, really nice. And then float the left leg here, pause. There. Yep, inhale, breath. Exhale, left knee, left elbow, squeeze. And then inhale, leg behind you. Exhale, left knee to the chest, squeeze. And then inhale, leg behind you. Exhale, left knee, right elbow, squeeze here, pause. Then send that left foot out to left, ground the right heel. Balance on the left hand, right arm floats to the sky. Yeah, breathe here. And then draw this right arm over the head. Just lift the hips, lean back into it a little bit. Stay with the breath. And then bend the right elbow of the hand to the back of the head. Lift the chin here, lean back into it a little bit. Inhale the breath. And exhale the hand down, down, downward facing dog. We'll meet. Nicely done, friends. Inhale, you're breathing. Child's pose. To the knees we go, hips to the heels. Take a moment here, relax. Forehead earth. Hands back to the ankles or so. And stay with your breath. Very nice, friends. And just gently inhale, come on up here to a seated position. And then we'll just spin around with our legs out in front of us here. Yep. So extend the right leg, draw the left knee in here like so. So Janushirasana, head of knee pose. First we'll twist, and so take the right hand on the outside of the left knee, twisting to the left here. Sit nice and tall, spread the toes of that right foot. Do a nice little twist there. Breathe deeply. And a big inhale. And exhale. Let the torso kind of extend over the leg. Here, so twist around and then take the left hand on the outside of that right shin and then re-lengthen the spine. So just first sit tall. So let it, again, a twist now the other way, somewhat unfold. And then inhale the breathing. And exhale, just inch this left hand forward a little bit. You can float this right hand to leave the spine long, though. We practice this a lot. Instead of rounding to go deeper, let the movement be from the base of the spine forward. So then the kind of ultimate experience is that the hamstring gets a lot of sensation from the long front spine. And just migrate deeper as the body opens. It's natural here. And then inhale breath. Then exhale, lengthen out as you fold down. So now we can round here. Breathe into the belly. Stay with the breath. Keep moving, though, from the base of the spine. So just continue to manifest length here as a component of depth in the form, in the object. Yeah, and then let your awareness go to energy. Let it go to awareness itself. So we're moving from object to subject, from the known to the knower. Yep. And the belly to the spine. Gently walk the hand up the leg here. And then check this out. Just float this left knee up. Kind of adjust the position a little bit. Plant the right hand. And then inhale, float the left arm up. Then exhale, the hand and arm on the inside now of this left leg. And then just squeeze it tight and twist to the right. So feel that. Twisting to the right. And just keep breathing deeply. And then kind of then release that. We're not done. Torso kind of sinks on the inside of this left leg, and then ground the upper arm into the shin, and then just plant both hands like so. And then just track kind of this left arm back into the shin, and that'll ground the head of the femur bone. And then again, just breathe into the belly. So much squeezing of the inner organs here this way. Yep. And then gently soften out of it. Extend the left leg. We'll switch. So the left leg goes out. And then the right knee bends and then opens here. So first Janushirasana, twisting to the right here. So left hand on the outside of that knee. Lengthen the spine. So just feel like you draw the shoulder blades down the back. And just allow for this front spinal extension to really develop deeply. Gaze, of course, over that right shoulder. Ooh, and then a big inhale. And then exhale, soften out of the twist. Float the right hand on the outside of the left shin. So we're twisting the other way. Pause here, though. Lengthen the spine. So again, sit tall. Begin to draw the belly button to the spine here. And then slide this right hand towards the foot. Release this left hand. And then lengthen the spine. And imagine as you fold deeper, again, that you're moving from the root of the spine. And so when we do that, the tendency is to lengthen up. And that's fruitful, ultimately. Yeah. Big inhale. And then exhale. Now we can round, drape the ribs over the thighs or so. Forehead releases down. Breathe deeply here, friends. These just deep, really nourishing asanas are just so profound. Yeah, and then belly button to the spine, and then gently walk the hands up the leg or towards the hips here, and then float when you're ready. This right knee, kind of reset the foot so it's comfortable. Left hand behind you, inhale, float, right arm up, and then the right elbow on the inside of the right leg, like so, and then just twist open to the left, and just breathe into the belly here. Breathe deeply. And then a nice big inhale. And then exhale, soften to neutral position here. And lean forward. Once again, ground upper arm of that right arm into the shin. And plant both hands. And then just kind of draw that upper arm into the shin to squeeze a little deeper into those inner organ groups. Yeah, stay with the breath. Ooh. And gently relax out of it. Once again, extend the right leg. So we'll come into the symmetrical pose, Paschimottanasana here. Kind of wiggle onto the front of the sits bones with necessarily out removing the flesh. Float hands and arms up here. And then just feel your lengthening up out of the base of the pelvis here. Lean forward, forward, forward. Hands to the shins. And again, we're not necessarily rounding here. The action is up. And just give your body a little bit of time to assimilate the form. As it feels, the body softens. Allow for depth to appear in the form as you sink a little lower, but without compromising the length of the front spine. Essentially, initially, and then a nice big inhale. And exhale, rounding, so deepening into it. Yes, stay with the breath. This witnessing experience here, friends. And belly button to the spine, gently inhale, float the hands up here. And for those of you who are here, so go ahead and spin around 180 degrees. We'll all kind of make our way onto our backs from this position. So no necessarily great feats of strength, just gently come onto your back here. Take a moment for a full body stretch. So extend the arms over the head long. Big stretch here. Nice. And then just gently hug the knees into the chest. Little rock side to side. So with this spine, have a little massage. We'll come into Setu Asana from here. So we know that it's bridge pose. So draw the feet to the earth. Setu Asana. Hip width distance apart. Ground upper arms into the earth. Inhale, float the hips, kind of work the shoulder blades underneath you. Externally rotate the upper arms so the palms turn up when we do that. Lift the chin and then continue to ascend the hips here. So really allow for the front of the body to open up wide. Just breathe deeply, friends. A little experiment is to draw kind of the knees away from you and the belly button to the spine here. Just breathe. Ooh. And make a nice big inhale. And exhale. Just float the hips down. Release the hands here. Take a moment for that. And then let the knees float open here. So Subdhabada Konasana. Climb down angle, the soles of the feet, as we know, come together. Maybe the right hand to the belly and the left hand to the heart. Very nice, friends. And just let me float the knees towards one another. Hug them again into the chest, little rock side to side, of course. And then ground the feet. And then arms to your cactus position, a twist coming. So shift the hips to the right and the knees to the left. The legs stack here, gaze to the right. Just breathe here into the belly. And then gently inhale, float the knees back to neutral. We'll shift this so hips to the left, left, left. Knees to the right, gaze to the left. And then gently float the knees back up here. Give them a little hug. Shift the hips to neutral, of course. And then we'll end in Viparita Karani Mudra or inversion. Right, get a little momentum, lift the feet, legs, hips come up. Hands go to the low back or the hips here. The body takes a V shape. Let the hips sink into the hands. Really grounding the forearms to the wrists, elbows, upper arms. And again, make sure the curvature of the neck is nice and happy. Begin to make our way out of this. So put a bend in the knees. Release hands from the hips, hands down. Hips slowly float to the earth here. Take a moment on a flat back. Hug the knees last time. And we'll do our pre-Shavasana breath retentions that we've gotten used to here. So legs extend out, feet roll open, palms turn up. Exhale the breath completely. We'll take a nice big inhale. Hold the breath in. And slowly exhale the breath here. We'll do one more of those. We'll pooch out the belly though as we hold the breath in. So exhale completely. Take a nice big inhale. Hold the breath in. Pooch out the belly. And silently exhale. And just carry this into Shavasana. Get comfortable in any way that's helpful. Start gently deepen your breath here. Just notice the object of breathing and the awareness of breathing. Awareness, essentially a subjective reality, permanent, and then breathing, an object. And deepening the breath, and then just adding a little bit of movement to the body. And when you're ready, little stretch of the arms here and bringing the knees to the chest. We'll come to the left side here first, and then just gently make your way to a seated position here. And so we have another 20 minutes or so to our practice, pranayama and meditation portion of our sadhana. And so take whatever time you need and get comfortable in a seated position. And this morning we'll do the 4 purification practices. For pranayams, work with the 3 doshas and calming the mind, stimulating energy in the subtle body, bringing physical body into harmony. So then the subjective awareness, the causal, can possibly emerge here. We begin the 4 purifications with Nadi Shodan. You know that is nerve cleansing practice or alternate nostril breathing. So when you're ready, with the eyes closed down, and then fold the index finger and the middle finger into the palm of the hand. The right hand, bring the right hand to the face. Lift the elbow so there's space here. A little exhale of the breath, and then close the right nostril with the right thumb. When you're ready, inhale through the left nostril. Full breath in here. Full yogic breath, belly, ribs, chest. Get to the top of that breath and lift the thumb. Take the ring finger, close the left nostril, and exhale through the right. Chin is parallel to the earth. The spine is nice and long. When you're ready, inhaling through the right nostril. Again, full yogic breath. The belly expands, ribs, chest. And then lift the ring finger, close right nostril, and exhale through the left. And we know this constitutes 1 round of Nadi Shodan, just continuing as time permits. Nerve cleansing practice, Nadi Shodan. Listening carefully here. Just cycle through where you are, exhaling out the left nostril to complete the round that you're on. Just take a moment to absorb the effects of the practice. Essentially, balancing Ida and Pingala Nadi, the two central body channels, along with Sushumna Nadi, nerve cleansing practice. The next practice is called Kapalbhati, skull shining. It's done with sharp exhalations, with moving the breath with the diaphragm. The abdominal area is nice and taut. We just focus on the exhale. Just a quick demo with that. Looks and sounds like this. So again, the breath is being moved with the diaphragm versus the abdominal area. Focus on the exhale. The inhale comes in naturally. We'll do 2 rounds with 50 repetitions each. So 2 rounds of 50. We'll do a catch breath in between. We'll start together here. Exhale your breathing completely and then take a nice big inhale. And then a catch breath here. So big inhale. Nice long and extended exhale. And then another nice big inhale. Second round. And again, just take a moment, feel the effects of the practice. And the next pranayama is called Agni Sardauti. Agni Sardauti, the fire wash. It's done on an exhale retention. So just a quick little demo. We'll take a nice big inhale. And exhale, we lean forward, keep the spine long, don't drop the head, and then oscillate the tummy to the spine and release it in rapid succession. The breath is held out of the body, so we're not breathing. And as a matter of fact, we've exhaled out all the breath and we're holding the breath out. Naturally, you'll need to breathe at some point and just allow the breath to come in, in a subtle way. No gasping, if you will, for breath. We'll do 2 rounds of this as well. So we'll begin together. Exhale your breathing and then take a nice big inhale together. And then exhale out all the breath. Ground the hands, lean forward, hold the breath out, oscillate the tummy. Just feel the effects of the practice here. And again, one more round. So take a nice big inhale. Exhale out all the breath, lean forward. Again, no breathing. Hold the breath out. Oscillate the tummy. You can just feel the effects of the practice. And the last breath of the 4 purifications is called Ashvini Mudra. Ashvini Mudra, and it means the horse seal. It's done on an inhale retention. So we'll inhale the breath, hold the breath in, and then squeeze and release the anal sphincter muscle. Again, in rapid succession. Rhythm is more important than pace or speed. And then when you've held the breath long enough, gently relax the pelvic floor, exhale the breath. We'll take a catch breath. Again, we'll do 2 rounds. So starting together, exhale your breathing, and then take a nice big inhale. Hold the breath in, squeeze, release. And take a catch breath when necessary. And begin your second round on your own, please. Just get comfortable in your seated position here. Again, stable and at ease. Just make it nice and firm and super still. And then just relaxing the body. We'll first begin our meditation by sensing, if you will, sensing the space that surrounds the body. Just breathe gently here. And we'll gently add some texture to this field of awareness by the internalization of the chanting of the mantra of Om as you both inhale and exhale. So the Om is, of course, silent in the mind. Very subtle breathing. If there's any objects that appear in the mind, a thought, for example, any sensation or otherwise, let's just gently let it subside. In the mantra of Om, we are actually objectifying the subject. Om and the divine as the object and the subject. Where the known and the knower become one. Just allowing the being to perceive the stillness, a sense of peace. It's the outer and inner fabric of awareness. It's of its own nature, of its own design. One can even feel a sense perception layered on top of the stillness of the peace, the permanency, if you will, the attribute of awareness, the attribute of a divine impression, if you will. Let the breath gently become a little bit more vibrant here. Bring our hands to prayer at the heart. And we'll join our voices in the chanting of the mantra of Om together as a unified principle, the Purna, the oneness of the object and the subject, the knower and the known. Exhale, breathing here, and then inhale. Om. And again, two more times, inhaling. I'm so grateful for our opportunity to share practice with one another, friends. Namaste.
Namaste.
up here. Many blessings. Lori, thank you so much, friends. And just have that consideration as we kind of move through the world of objects, the binding nature of them, and just have a glorious day wherever you may be. And you're very welcome, Tammy. Yeah, absolutely. And just a little Venmo reminder, a little bit of that. And hope to see you up at Shivalaya sometime soon, everybody. And just be peaceful and aware. And love, peace, friends. Take care.